All right. How's everybody today on a Monday? It's Monday. Holy smokes, kids. We had some crazy rain this weekend. Hope that everybody is well. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Glad everybody's here and ready to start a new week. All fresh, all new. As we look at the crazy world around us. Woof. Welcome, risers, to another week. We got a lot to talk about, And Mondays are always crazy. I need Mondays to be longer. Happy birthday, Diane Pearson. God bless you. You're looking great. Glad you're here today. All right, spending your birthday with us. Everybody wish Diane a happy birthday. It's Monday morning. Coffee. Yes. All right, my name is Nick Stewart. This is Sunrise Santa Rosa. Welcome to the program. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Milton Post, for hosting it. Everybody else that shares it. And you can call in today. 850-771-0049 is the number to call. Also, you can text in no pronouns. No pronouns. That is it. Bozo, no. Everybody's got a happy birthday for you. Happy birthday. Morning. All right. Your forecast for today. But wow, the storms are wild. We got some pictures. Today, sunny, high near 84. Woohoo! Humidity is only 51% today. That's a beautiful thing. Tonight, clear to partly cloudy, low near 53. And tomorrow, intervals of clouds and sunshine and a high near 83. It's presently 52 in Milton, 59 Gulf Breeze, 56 Navarre, and 54 Pensacola. Here we go, kids. Let's light this candle. Happy birthday. All right. Yeah. Pronoun free zone. What's a pronoun free zone? Okay. Let's do it. What else is going on? Videos following the storm. I don't know what all everybody had to deal with. If you had... Hey, were there tornadoes? Were there some minor tornadoes in there? I think so. But you don't know. But videos following Saturday morning storms show some significant flooding in Pensacola and Gulf Breeze. Here's one guy. If I could find that video. Is this what I want? That's not what I want. I don't think that's what I want. I got a ton of video. That's why I'm just kind of scrambling this morning here. See if that's it. Nope, that's not it. Get rid of that. I'm sorry. I apologize. This is. Oh, here it is. Found it. There's tons of it. Look at this water in this. Wow. I think that's in Escambia County. Then let me show you this. This was a mobile home that had oak tree land on it. Here's that. Oops. Sorry, hit the wrong button. Here we go. Whoops. Sorry again. Here you go. Look at that. Wow. Rescuers had to come and get her. She was trapped in the house. She couldn't get out. Lots of rain, not much wind. That's pretty brutal. That'd be very scary. I know in Pensacola there was a big tree that was just kind of shredded right at the trunk. So, some pretty wild stuff. Pretty scary. There's some hail. I know some folks got some different size hail. We had a little tick against the window. Nothing major, but got some bigger pieces. So glad everybody's okay. And we just golf course in Cantonment will be shut down for a while after suffering damage on Saturday. Do you have pictures of that? Maybe. Here we go. Here's pictures of that. Just shredded it. So the roof caved in, stuff scattered in the parking lot. and around the course, and so they're going to be shut down for a while. I think one of the breweries in town had the roof ripped off of it. That's not just regular storm doing that kind of damage. So, yeah, pretty rough weekend. Former Escambia County Sheriff David Morgan has filed to run for mayor of Pensacola in 2022. Morgan filed the necessary paperwork to become pre-filed candidate for the city's top office with the Escambia County Supervisor of Elections on Friday. Morgan served as Escambia County Sheriff for 12 years, and when he stepped down last year, he publicly speculated that he may run for mayor in the future. If I was to run for something, mayor's it, he told the News Journal last year. The filing ends that speculation. Morgan told the News Journal on Friday that people have been asking him to run for mayor and had expressed concern over a lack of leadership in the city. That's a dig. Morgan said he and his wife have been discussing running for the last 6 months and decided to file after Robinson dropped out because the sooner the better. Sheriff Morgan spoke during a press conference. It's not actually that far off as campaigns go, Morgan said. It'll be in August of 2022, and trust me, that'll be here before you know it. Morgan said his experience and executive position as sheriff gives him the experience to run city government. Now, whether you like him or not, whether you like David Morgan or not, you gotta understand this guy. He doesn't pull any punches. This guy doesn't. I mean, he says what he thinks, and he doesn't back down from it. He's not wishy-washy. He's not a wishy-washy dude, and maybe that's good. 850-771-0049. I'm just saying. I think that might be a good thing. What else is going on? The city of Milton can see new revived food truck scene as the city council mulls whether to amend its food truck ordinance to allow gatherings of trucks or outdoor kitchens that would emulate concepts in other cities. So basically what they're trying to do is kind of like the little place in downtown Pensacola. Council bounced around the idea of creating a food truck space like Al Fresco in Pensacola, having a food truck-centered festival event, and even allowing food trucks to serve as extended outdoor kitchens for brick-and-mortar restaurants. The goal is to diversify the city's culinary scene and add more food options for people to enjoy. So, and the food trucks. Food trucks are becoming a thing. And are you interested in that? Does that help the restaurants? Does it hurt the restaurants? I don't know. 850-771-0049. Just a question. Good morning, El Cuco. What else is happening? Tolls on Garcon Point Bridge are now suspended through May 9th. Just for the love of God, just do until further notice. You bring it to the point and go, oh, everybody's like, are we? Oh, okay, good. Another 2 weeks, another month. Just till further notice. You know that's what's going to happen. Until we get the bridge open, let's just keep it rolling. Extension allows the Garcon Point Bridge to continue serving as a temporary detour route while the Pensacola Bay Bridge is being repaired. Just till further notice. Can we do that, please? Escambia County Sheriff's deputies are searching for a gunman following a shooting Sunday night. Investigators say a man was shot on Aaron Drive near Channing Place around 8 p.m. He's taken to the hospital. There's no word yet on his condition. Sheriff's office describes the suspect as a black man. I didn't know they could do that. Wearing gray jogging pants and a white tank top. We'll see. We'll see if they get him. Morgan will do an awesome job as mayor. That's according to Donna. I think so. A Florida man's facing charges that he killed his girlfriend's 2-year-old son. Let me see if I find that winner's picture. There he is. He killed his girlfriend's 2-year-old son. You want to know why? He urinated on the couch. He beat him to death. He was watching the boy while his mother worked. Jones, this is a guy, Al Gray Jones, he summoned his girlfriend home, saying the boy wasn't waking up. That's because you beat him to death for urinating on the couch. Why do these women leave their children with these morons? Don't leave your children with these men. I don't get it. Suspend to the end of the year for Garcon. Just do till further notice. Don't put a date on it, because then people go, you get the bridge open earlier. Oh, well, you said to the end of the year. See what I'm saying? Just go till further notice. It's just easier than this back and forth. There was a deadly hit. I'm laughing about this. There was a deadly hit and run crash in Boca Raton. According to police, Natasha Snape, 23, of Fort Lauderdale, or North Lauderdale, was driving erratically on Ocean Boulevard Friday morning when she struck two pedestrians. One was a judge, or the one killed was a judge from New York. Fernstein was pronounced dead at Delray Medical Center. Federal judge in Long Island. Investigators say Snape took off from the scene of the deadly crash and was later taken into custody in Delray Beach, where she crashed her vehicle. An officer approached her vehicle. She said she was Harry Potter. I'm Harry Potter. They had to administer a drug to calm her down. At the hospital, her behavior remained erratic. 1 minute she said she was involved in the crash, and then she said she wasn't. Said she was Harry Potter. They found drugs in her handbag. You think? Yeah. Harry Potter was on drugs. Mercy. Someone sent me a text on the line. I can't get it. A deputy had a close encounter with an endangered and rarely seen Florida panther in Naples. Check this video out. This is pretty wild. Let me get this out of the way. All right. Sorry for Dell. She quickly put up a window. This is an endangered Florida panther. They're hardly ever seen. And it was on a hiking trail. She's doing some paperwork. The deputy's doing some paperwork. And as she's doing that, she catches something out of the corner of her eye and sees this panther running at her. Pretty wild. That's pretty wild. According to the National Wildlife Federation, there are only 120 to 130 Florida panthers left. The subspecies is so critically endangered that it's vulnerable to just about every major threat. Pretty scary. All right. So then there's this. Let me find these pictures. Oh, here we go. This is a 14-foot gator. That is pretty wild. This was a South Carolina meat processing and taxidermy business found a collection of bizarre items in the belly of a 445-pound gator. According to the photos of turkey, deer, and other game that people brought in recently to be processed, the 12-foot gator stands out among the Facebook photos. The alligator was apparently killed after encroaching on private land on Friday. They said they don't usually open up the stomach, but after doing so, they found 5 dog tags. Not military dog tags, but pet dog tags. 1 bullet jacket, 1 spark plug, loads of turtle shells, and several bobcat claws. 2 of the dog tags were legible still, and 1 phone number still worked. That's according to the Post. Staff at Cordrays called the number, and the man confirmed that the 2 tags belonged to 2 hunting dogs he'd owned while leasing the property where the gator was killed. That was 24 years ago. Wow. Check. This is look at the head on that thing. Holy mackerel. Wow. Scary stuff. Harry Potter. and Gators. I don't know. I know. What else? Anything there? Okay. Get rid of that. Let's see here. A significant majority of Representative Matt Gaetz' constituents believe the congressman should not resign in light of allegations of sex trafficking or that he's guilty, according to a new poll. The April 10th poll comes from Victory Insights and finds that less than 1 in 5 of Gaetz' constituents believes the congressman is guilty, and over 60% feel that he's innocent. So, where is... Now, if you feel Gaetz is innocent, that's one thing. That's but if you feel that he is guilty, but you want him to not step down, that's another. But the majority of his constituents say we're good. We're good. This happened over the weekend. This is pretty wild. This woman, California, she's in custody after 3 kids aged 3, 2, and 6 months were stabbed to death at a home in Reseda, Saturday. Los Angeles Police Department responded to a call from an apartment around 9:30 a.m. Upon arrival, officers found the bodies of 3 young children, prompting a search for the suspect. LAPD later identified the children's mother, Liliana Carrillo, as a person of interest in the triple murder. She was eventually taken into custody in Northern California. During the search for Carrillo, LAPD said she may have carjacked a Toyota pickup in Bakersfield earlier in the day. According to the children's relative, the children's parents had been at the center of a tense custody battle. The father's cousin, Terry Miller, told Fox, Christina Gonzalez, that the children's father, Eric Denton, had reached out to police for help as Carrillo needed help. Now, a couple things about this is that the police officers or the first responders, because of the brutality of the murders, needed counseling. That's how disturbing it was. And it's just really sad. The other thing is really weird is the mother that killed these children had just recently written a blog about how bad teen mothers are. Teen mothers are bad moms. Well, they don't murder their children often. Donna says that poor boy, meaning Matt Gaetz, is sad what they're doing to him that way. I don't know. But if he's guilty, that's another thing. But listen, none of the victims have come out against Gaetz. These are just allegations. Now, if there's victims, that's another thing. But here's my question. Where is all the outcry for Cuomo? Because there are victims, and they have stepped forward, and they have spoken. And aren't you supposed to believe the victim? Well, you've got victims in Cuomo's case. You do not have victims in Matt Gaetz's case yet. So, my view on it. A former sheriff's dispatcher in a suburb of New Orleans has been arrested. She's accused of refusing to return more than $1.2 million that had been accidentally deposited into a brokerage account. Oops. Kaylin Spadoni, 33, was taken into custody Wednesday on charges of theft valued at over $25,000, bank fraud, illegal transmission of monetary funds. Reports said she was fired by the Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office after her arrest. She's being held at the Jefferson Parish Correctional Center on a $50,000 bond. It's unknown if she has an attorney who could speak on her behalf. She's accused of immediately moving the funds to another account and using some of the money to buy a new car and a house. Authorities said a clerical error had caused Charles Schwab, a major financial services corporation, to deposit more than $1.2 million into a brokerage account when they meant to transfer only $82. 1.2, 82. That's a little bit of a difference. That's some clerical error. When the bank attempted to reclaim the money, the request was rejected because the money was not available. She had moved the funds into another account really quickly. It was money put into her account, but it wasn't hers. She has no legal claim to that money. Even if it was put there by mistake, it was an accounting error. Charles Schwab argued in its lawsuit that Spadoni's account contract with Schwab includes an agreement that if a client received an overpayment of funds, the client is required to return the full amount. Yes, yes, and yes. And so $1.2 million magically appears in her account. She buys a house and a car. Nice. Lots of zeros in that mistake. Yeah, I don't know. She accidentally bought a car. No, she purposely bought a car with accidental money. And a house. A California high school teacher was caught on camera berating students for their parents' collective push to end remote learning and return children to their classrooms full time. In a video shared on Facebook, San Marcos high school teacher Alyssa Pirro can be heard raising her voice at several seniors during a virtual lesson over Zoom. Check this out, and I will have the audio up for you because, it's pretty wild. Let me get rid of me.
Themselves out. The haters did. They are forced to bring awareness to the situation that they are in because other people put them in that situation.
My question is, in your case, where is the white student union? Because we need all races for equality.
You don't need a white student union, Jake. Oh. You get everything.
If your parent wants to talk to me about their profession and their opinion on their profession, I would love to hear that. I know very little about anything else in the world other than education, okay? However, if your parent wants to talk to me about how I'm not doing a good enough job in distance learning based on what you need as an individual, just dare them to come at me.
Oh, I dare them to go.
Oh, sick to my stomach of parents trying to tell educators how to do their job. I have never once gone to a doctor's appointment and tried to tell my medical health provider how to treat me. You know why? Because I know nothing about that. I didn't get my degree in medicine. I am going off. I'm sorry. This is my go off.
Yeah. Here. Yeah, you are going off. This teacher in California, and they are fighting back. They don't want to do in-person teaching because she didn't have to put on makeup. She had to do her hair. She can sit on her fat butt in her house in yoga pants and not do a job. Show up on Zoom for a little bit and not do her job. And there you go. Oh, here's another thing. I don't know how I missed this one earlier, but listen, the in Florida, they're not counting the exams, the testing. We knew that was going to happen. We knew the grades weren't good enough, so we're not counting it. We're not going to do final exams. We're not going to count that stuff because we suck at our job. So Florida is doing away with, for this time, because of coronavirus, and we've sucked at our job of teaching the students on virtual. So because of that, the testing that we did, we're throwing out, and we're not doing any final exams because we're not good at our jobs. We're just going to pass everybody. Everybody gets, so we'll leave that up to the individual teachers and the parents and whether you hold your kids back. And so graduating seniors, yay. Yeah. That is what is happening. They are going to promote students that shouldn't be promoted. They're not gonna punish schools for not doing a good job. We're not going to hold money back from schools that are underperforming because we want that money. And so we're just dismissing that test. May I want to show all the F's everybody's getting. You're right. That's why good, Kevin. Good. I'm glad you homeschool. And you should. You should. Because the public schools are not doing their job. They're not doing their job. You can't tell me, and this is a frequent rant, and I apologize, but this is a frequent rant with me because they should have been prepared for this. You can't tell me the public schools can't figure out how to do virtual learning. That they are so terrible that they have to dismiss all the scores because they aren't doing their job. If remote learning is so good, why are students failing? It's a slap in the face to all of us who worked hard to graduate high school. Well, it's also not fair to the students. It's not fair to the students. You are ginning out a bunch of ding-dongs who won't be able to function in society. And they will be dependent upon government because they can't function. Oh, wait a minute. What did I say? Maybe that's the goal. Maybe the goal is to generate a bunch of ding-dongs so that they are dependent on the government. Is that the goal? Well, Florida, bravo to you. Bravo to you. The Florida education system is failing your students. No, they're promoting them, but they're failing doing their job. And all those, we're just not going to worry about that. Don't pay any attention to those grades from those tests. We just pretend like they won't happen, like they didn't happen. And it's okay if your student is okay, we're going to move them forward. Well, if you're not counting the test, listen, I can tell you this much: if the students did good on the tests, they'd be using those tests. But they didn't. They didn't do good on those tests, and so we're just dismissing them. If you didn't do good on your taxes, well, I'm just going to dismiss that. I didn't do good at my job. We're just going to dismiss this year because I didn't do good at my job. What are we talking about? Holy mackerel, people. What are you doing to our children? What is the school system doing to our children? This is what's happening. It is not right. It is downright scary that we're just not going to worry about that. A California city erected a fence outside a restaurant that's repeatedly flouted coronavirus health orders. The fencing was put up Saturday outside of Tin Horn Flats Saloon and Grill in Burbank after a court ordered the establishment's electricity to be shut off. The eateries racked up nearly $50,000 in fines since the start of the pandemic for violating public health orders, allowing outdoor dining at a time when the practice was banned by the county. That's according to the Los Angeles Times. A judge on Friday ruled the restaurant cannot reopen without new permits. The city had previously placed sandbags outside the business in a bid to keep it closed. But now they put up a fence around the restaurant, not for being dirty, not for serving alcohol without a license, but because they allowed outdoor dining in the pandemic. Yeah. Mehdi Hassan, host of MSNBC's The Mehdi Hassan Show, asked Dr. Fauci, what is the message to vaccinated and unvaccinated Americans as to when they should and should not be doing right now? Here is that. You got to see this.
Tonight is the man who's become known as America's doctor. He's been the director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases for 30.
He's America's doctor if America needs a proctologist. I'm just saying.
He served under 7 presidents and is now chief medical advisor to President Biden. Earlier today, I spoke with Dr. Anthony Fauci. Dr. Anthony Fauci, thank you so much for joining me on the show tonight. I know your time is tight, so let's get straight to it. What is your message tonight to both vaccinated and
His time is tight because he's going to another appearance because he likes the TV camera.
Americans as to what they should and should not be doing right now? For example, eating and drinking indoors in restaurants and bars. Is that okay now?
No, it's still not okay for the simple reason that the level of infection, the dynamics of infection in the community are still really disturbingly high. Like just yesterday, there were close to 80,000 new infections, and we've been hanging around 60, 70, 75,000. So if you're not vaccinated, please get vaccinated as soon as vaccine becomes available to you. And if you are vaccinated, please remember that you still have to be careful and not get involved in crowded situations, particularly indoors where people are not wearing masks. And for the time being, until we show definitively that a person who's vaccinated does not get this subclinical infection and can spread to others, you should also continue to wear a mask for the time being.
Tonight.
So you got to be kidding me. So even if you get the vaccine, you got to stay away from crowds. You got to continue to wear the mask. What's the point of the vaccine? What's the point of the vaccine? New infections are from people getting the COVID vaccine. Maybe. Vaccinated, you can get to normal, but once vaccinated, you can't get back to normal. You're right. You've got to continue. You've got to continue to quarantine. You can't get in crowds. You got to wear a mask. What's the point? What is the purpose? Anybody? That's Fauci. So dumb. America's doctor. Governor Gretchen Whitmer, the moron governor of Michigan, said Sunday on CBS's Face the Nation that she is seeing a surge of coronavirus cases despite having very strict controls on her population in the name of COVID-19 mitigation. We're seeing a surge in Michigan despite the fact that we've had some of the strongest policies in place. Mask mandates, capacity limits, working from home. We've asked our state for a 2-week pause. So despite all of that, we're seeing a surge because of these variants. And that's precisely why we're really encouraging them to think about surging vaccines into the state of Michigan. And I'm going to continue to fight for the people of Michigan. By the way, she blames the surge, even though they've done the lockdowns, they've done the mask mandates, they've done all that stuff. So in spite of that, she blames Trump. They're seeing a surge in coronavirus cases, even though they have had one of the harshest policies in the nation. Gretchen Whitmer. I think she's done. Minnesota business owner said he's willing to pay a fine or even go to jail over a 50 by 30 foot Trump 2020 flag he has on his property that city officials say is violating a local ordinance. It looks small. It's 150 feet in the air, but it's a pretty big flag, says Johnson, who's flying the Trump flag on top of a crane at his construction business in Buffalo, Minnesota. Johnson said he took down the flag soon after the November election, but decided to put it up again. He said soon afterward that a few of his construction vehicles and windows were shot out. City officials in Buffalo say Johnson has also run afoul of the law because the flag law is large. Let me show you a picture of it. There's the Trump 2020 flag. He says, I'm prepared to get the fines, ultimately get cuffed, go to jail, whatever. He added that the flag cost him $1,000 and the crane cost about $50,000. So, and he can do whatever he wants to. Private property. They say that the size is the issue, Corey, that it violates city code because it's too big. It's too big. The presidency appears to have cost Donald Trump more than $1 billion in wealth. Trump tumbled nearly 300 spots on Forbes billionaire rankings during his presidency. The magazine reported this week with his estimated wealth falling from $3.5 billion to $2.4 billion during his 4-year term. That's still good enough for 1,299th place on the magazine's new billionaire list, down from 1,001st last year. The magazine blamed Trump's decision to refuse to divest when he took office in January 2017. So he is one of the few who is not capitalizing on being president. The books, the speeches where he charges gazillions of dollars, we'll leave that to Obama and Clinton and those that whore themselves out. He didn't do that. He didn't come out of Washington richer than he went in. He didn't take a paycheck. He donated all his paychecks. They hate him. They hate him. A Sunday afternoon traffic stop in Minnesota turned into an officer-involved shooting and a car accident. Brooklyn Center Police said in a news release that the stop for a traffic violation was initiated before 2 p.m. Authorities said that the driver of the vehicle had an outstanding warrant. As officers attempted to take the individual into custody, the driver re-entered the vehicle. An officer then discharged their firearm, striking the driver. The vehicle traveled for several blocks before striking another vehicle. Responding officers and emergency personnel performed life-saving measures, but the driver was later pronounced dead on the scene. The county medical examiner's office plans to release the individual's name following a preliminary autopsy and family notification. But according to Minneapolis Star-Tribune, relatives have identified the individual as 20-year-old black man Duante Wright. A female passenger of the vehicle was also hurt, but is expected to be okay and has been transported to North Memorial Hospital in Robbinsdale. Now, after the police-involved shooting, all this started. Okay, so there's that. There's also this. Whoops. Here we go.
Hands up! Hands up! Hands up! Hands up!
Hands up, don't shoot. Now, let me tell you something. That didn't happen in this case. This guy didn't surrender. This guy ran. He jumped in his vehicle as they were trying to take him into custody and tried to drive away. There was no hands up, don't shoot. That's a false narrative.
Hands up! Hands up! You know we can win this, right? Some of y'all are going to know this chant, and we're going to say it together because I want y'all to recognize the power of black people.
And so there you go. And that's what's going to happen in Minneapolis for the next who knows how long. Wow, people. Fox News Sunday anchor Chris Wallace on Sunday grilled Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg for exaggerating the number of jobs that would be created by President Biden's $2 trillion plus spending proposal. Wallace noted that Buttigieg and other Biden administration officials overstated the number of jobs that would be created by Biden's American Jobs Plan last Sunday, and then asked, why mislead people? You're right, I should have been more precise, Buttigieg said. He then attempted to spin the projected number of jobs created by saying that there would be over 2 million more jobs created with the infrastructure plan if there wasn't a plan. Okay. Wallace said that there was a huge difference between 2 million jobs and 19 million jobs, prompting Buttigieg to say it's very important for Americans to know 2.7 million jobs will be created. He then asked Buttigieg whether he agrees that he and other Biden administration officials exaggerated the jobs impact. Because during an appearance on Meet the Press last Sunday, Buttigieg claimed that Moody's estimated Biden plan would create 19 million jobs. And Brian Deese also pushed that talking point on Fox News Sunday last week. There are several analyses on the spending plan estimating millions of jobs created, but Wallace pointed out that Buttigieg was the one who cited the analysis from Moody's. 19 million, 2 million jobs. And what are those jobs, Pete Buttigieg? How many jobs will be lost, like on the pipeline? I don't know. Pretty crazy. Oh, let me see if I can find Nancy Pelosi here. Top Democrats are already moving the legislative goalpost as President Joe Biden pushes his second multi-trillion-dollar spending package. Pelosi and Bernie Sanders, who controls the Senate Budget Committee, are defending Biden's push for a massive infrastructure bill, which critics say has very little to do with American infrastructure, by citing the need to address human infrastructure. Despite boasting a price tag of $2.25 trillion, Biden's plan spends relatively few tax dollars on American highways, bridges, and other traditional infrastructure programs. Instead, the new plan advances countless progressive policy initiatives. It's being described as basically the Green New Deal. Speaking on CBS's Face the Nation, Pelosi said the infrastructure bill will not be trimmed down despite criticisms because infrastructure is more than highways and bridges. Infrastructure is more than infrastructure. Infrastructure is about education, about getting children healthily in school. I don't know if that's a word. Healthily in school with separation, sanitation, ventilation. It's about investments in housing as well. Overwhelmingly, this bill is about infrastructure in the traditional sense of the word. Bernie Sanders added, and so I think as a nation, we got to take a very broad look at what we mean by infrastructure. So we got to change the definition of infrastructure. It's physical infrastructure, obviously bricks and mortar. It's human infrastructure. Nice. So we don't know what this is going to. It's the Green New Deal. If a man say I love God and hateth his brother, he's a liar. What? Yep. I don't know why that's on there, Chris. I agree with that verse, but I don't know why it's there. New jobs protesting. Yeah, it could be. Could be. New research found that homicides rose in American cities that experienced Black Lives Matter protests between 2014 and 2019. The finding comes after America experienced some of its most protest-loaded years in recent history. That doesn't even include 2020. That's just through 2019. Demonstrations in support of Black lives and against police violence took place in cities across the U.S. and even garnered international support. Travis Campbell, PhD student at the University of Massachusetts Amherst, discovered a significant rise in homicides in American cities where Black Lives Matter protesters demonstrated between 2014 and 2019. There was a 10% increase in homicides in such cities, translating to thousands more than expected deaths. And again, it doesn't include 2020. I want to throw this in there as well. As protests broke out across the country in the name of Black Lives Matter, the group's co-founder went on a real estate buying binge, snagging 4 high-end homes for $3.2 million in the U.S. alone. Patrice Khan Cullers, 37, also eyed property in the Bahamas at an ultra-exclusive resort where Justin Timberlake and Tiger Woods both have homes. The luxury apartments and townhouses at the beachfront Albany Resort outside Nassau are priced between $5 million and $20 million. The self-described Marxist last month purchased $1.4 million home on a secluded road, a short drive from Malibu in Los Angeles, according to a report. The 2,370 square foot home features soaring ceilings, skylights, plenty of windows with canyon views. The Topanga Canyon homestead, which includes 2 houses on a 1/4 acre, is just one of 3 homes Con Cullers owns in Los Angeles area, public records show. So Black Lives Matter fleeced their flock. It was never about Black Lives Matter. It was about putting money in her pocket, where she's buying $1 million homes, plural. She stole from Black Lives Matter. She stole from the people. So rather than help her cause, the cause that she started, she's helping her personal cause. She is a fraud. She's a fraud. So now, do you support Black Lives Matter? Do you think it's all about the money? Yes, Donna. It's all about the money. It always has been. Amazon and all these companies, Nike, are all giving money to Black Lives Matter so that she can buy $1 million homes. And the people that she's using, if you are supporting Black Lives Matter, you're being used by this woman. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about being used? You feel great? Does it feel great? She's using you. You got to move into her homes. They're your homes. Move into them. She's moving into white neighborhoods. Not black neighborhoods. She's moving into white neighborhoods. Right. David Hogg, you know the kid, that kid from Parkland? His dreams of starting his own pillow company have been put to sleep. The popular gun control activist announced on Saturday he's quitting the pillow industry despite never actually having ever sold a single pillow. Only 2 months ago, Hogg announced he was going to dethrone MyPillow founder Mike Lindell, who's a loyal supporter of former President Donald Trump. Mike isn't going to know what hit him. This pillow fight's just getting started, Hogg said in February, despite not having any experience in any business, let alone pillow industry. The March of Our Lives co-founder targeted conservative Lindell and declared that he would start the Good Pillow Company to prove that progressives can make a better pillow and run a better business and help make the world a better place while doing it. Hogg turns 21 today. He said that he has resigned and released all shares and any ownership and any control of Good Pillow LLC, effective immediately. I soon realized that my given activism, schoolwork, and family commitments, I could not give 100% to being a full-time co-founder at Good Pillow. And it will die. It never took off anyway. What a moron. David Hogg is a moron. He's 21. He's an idealist, but he's stupid. He's another one being used. Oh, this is interesting. Joe Biden. Here's Joe Biden's picture. President Joe Biden proposed a $2 trillion American jobs plan could end up costing taxpayers $666,000 per job created. 666. Who'd have thunk it? The Washington Post gave Biden 2 Pinocchios for saying the American jobs plan, his infrastructure and jobs proposal, will create 19 million jobs. Both Biden and his transportation secretary, Pete Buttigieg, have made 19 million jobs claim. The source of the statement, Moody's analysis, which CNN pointed out had estimated the U.S. economy would add about 16.3 million jobs over the same period if the infrastructure proposal does not get passed. So there's 2.7. Actually, the number we talked about this earlier. The actual number is like 2 million jobs, if that. But if they leave it alone, if he doesn't pass it, 16.3 million jobs will be created. He's going to cost us jobs. Mercy. So if you take the 2.7 million net jobs created by the infrastructure plan, rounding up to 3 million jobs, And dividing by $2 trillion equals $666,000 per job created. The cost to taxpayers would be $740,000. But 666, I thought that was rather interesting. Yep. President Joe Biden's administration is reportedly begging federal employees from various agencies. He wants them to donate their time. He wants them to take paid leave to provide care to thousands of unaccompanied alien children arriving at the United States-Mexico border. A report by the New York Times this week alleges the Biden administration is sending emails to federal employees asking them to take leave to help care for UACs who are arriving by the thousands every month. The reported redeployment of thousands of federal employees to aid border crossers comes as the Biden administration has seen the U.S.-Mexico border become overwhelmed as a result of the policy changes made by the president in his first few weeks in office. And again, it's been 14 days, so it's more than that now. But several days since Kamala Harris has been as the border czar, whatever she's supposed to be doing. She's in charge of the crisis at the border, and she's not held a press conference. She's not been to the border. It's not important. The border is not important to Biden or Kamala. If it was, they would be there. They're not. They're not. What is important to Kamala and Biden? Breaking the bank. Breaking the bank is what they're interested in. They want to destroy our nation because they hate our nation. They hate our nation. They hate our nation. It is not, that is not an overstatement. They hate the American way of life. And their whole goal is to break the bank. The border means nothing to them. They're going to spend money in South America. They're going to give money to people in South America so we can stop the flow of people coming up. Do something about the border right now, because these people are incompetent. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are incompetent boobs. You want to talk about dumb? They are dumb. You're either dumb or you're evil. Whichever one. Pick. There's no in between with these people. They're probably a mixture of both. I heard they're going to send illegal immigrants money to stay in. Yeah. Here's my idea for this is we ought to overtake Mexico. Let's go to war with Mexico and overtake it and make it part of the United States. And it comes under our government, and we lift them up. We lift them up. We help grow them and help change them so they're not a third world country anymore. We take them over and help them. And we get rid of their gangs. We wipe out MS-13. And we do it so we don't, that will solve the problem. Sending them money so they don't come over is extortion. Well, I don't know why. It's flawed thinking for sure. It's dumb. That shows you how stupid Kamala Harris is. And Joe Biden's probably buying right into it. These are not smart people. They are. Well, I know we can't get rid of gangs here because we won't do what needs to be done. We can get rid of gangs here, but we won't. I just want to say this. Here's how dumb they are. An online video game player was able to infiltrate the White House press corps by pretending to be a political reporter. The fake reporter was even able to submit questions to the Biden administration through the press corps, and White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki answered the imposter's questions for weeks. Weeks. The online persona posed as a reporter named Casey Montague for the Daily Mail. There were Twitter and LinkedIn accounts dedicated to Casey Montague, plus she was named as a chief political correspondent for the White House News fictional website. Casey Montague was given access to cover COVID-19 government press briefings, but was not called upon. She regularly sent in questions for the White House press corps to ask Psaki, adding that she wasn't able to be there in person due to social distancing regulations. Montague was able to hoodwink White House reporters, including from the Plain Dealer, CQ Roll Call, and asked Psaki numerous questions about everything from COVID-19 travel bans to coming ambassadorships to Biden's reaction to Microsoft being hacked. That's because the White House is stupid. They are filled with dumb people. This is who's calling the shots. They're spending money that they don't have, that you don't have. They're destroying jobs. They're cramming down your throats bad laws. And you're having to take it. They're not smart. Now, they do have the media on their side. But look, they're in control. And soon your children will be dumbed down because of they're just passing them. They're just passing them. Wow. Cartel makes more money on human trafficking than drugs. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They're connected. They're connected to the government. Absolutely. Listen, people. Don't take anything that it's just coincidence. Everything has a meaning anymore, and everything, if you think they're against you, they are. We are not in foil hat territory anymore. You are not in foil hat territory anymore. This is reality. And be afraid. Be very, very afraid. All right. Got to get out of here. Thanks for joining us on this Monday, this new week. Listen, be in prayer. Be in prayer. And wow. We need help. We need big help. All right. God bless you. Thank you so much for joining us today. Like the video, share it, and we will see you again tomorrow for more of Sunrise Santa Rosa. Thanks so much.